in the book that I've written, I talk about branch end pruning. And branch end pruning is where, to keep it in the English language, is where a terminal is reduced to a dominant lateral. This tree has been doing that ever since it was born. So let's have a look. This was the dominant terminal. This was the dominant lateral. The dominant terminal died, allowing this lateral to grow. And all along, over here someone made a cut, and this dominant lateral continued. If you look down here, the same thing has happened. Here, dominant terminal, dominant lateral. But also, because of the weight of this limb, down this way, perhaps it's not quite in the vision of the camera, but it is. But over here, the weight of the terminal and the twisting of the limb has caused this to crack. So decay has got in. This will not mend. This does not get better. This continues to get worse until it breaks off. Now let's have a look at the most recent dominant terminal being taken over by the dominant lateral. And here it is. Here we go. These are all laterals. This is a lateral. This is a terminal. Hasn't quite died. This one hasn't quite died. But it's inside the canopy of the tree, so it will die. And then the dominant lateral is taking over, because you can see the diameter of it is much greater compared with the diameter of the dominant terminal. So, is it happening here? What does it look like? Well, this is what it looks like. This is the dominant terminal, but the lateral is taking over. I know this is hormonal, but this is also, if you take it schematically, this is going to die. I'm going to break it and bend it and just show you that if you're pruning, this is what actually happens. Struggle as I may. Right. Off comes the terminal, leaves the lateral, and you duplicate this forever and ever. What happens eventually is that instead of this constantly growing out further and further, this holds it back. It would be no good you cutting back here somewhere. First of all, you don't actually have a dominant terminal, but the one I removed. You don't have a dominant lateral here either. You could have cut it to this one, let's say. You could cut it to here, but this wouldn't have helped either. This is going straight down. This makes more sense. On a bigger scale, larger trees, if you were climbing this tree and you were pruning this tree, you'd be removing some laterals and limiting the number of laterals so that a dominant lateral would take over. That would be in real time. That's what you would do in reality. You wouldn't be out here as a climber trying to snip off something that's only 3 millimeters thick.